So we are here, and in today's video we're going to be doing food, housing and travel within the countries where we are studying at. That is China
and then
United States
and Uganda, of course.
And
Uganda. So for starters, I'll start with my accommodation experience, the hostels. Within Uganda, we have hostels around the universities, right? And for Chambogo, it was a bit difficult because for so many reasons. If you know Banda, you know why it was difficult. And I am a person who loves my space, my personal toilet, my what. So initially, being a girl, my mom is like, I want you in hall because they have this boarding school mindset. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm like, nah. So I get a hostel right at the gate. It's a girls' hostel, and it was okay. So I was in hostel for 3 years, and I moved out after to start my independent life. Here we are. But yeah, the hostels were really okay. It was. I also advise people for the first semester, kindly stay near campus because it's hard to push yourself to go to class, especially if you are far. You can only move further away if you're like older enough.
Especially since you're no longer in that environment where they push you to do stuff.
Yes, from Namugongo being just for everything.
Sticks.
Yeah, you can't actually be like, oh, I will go to class if you can bank enough.
So how was the housing situation like for you? Are you staying in?
Well, for me, the first school I went to, all first years had to stay on campus, so that kind of wasn't.
Wait, which school was that?
Southwest Baptist University. Then in my second year, I transferred to Georgia Institute of Technology. So at SBU, the first school, all first years had to stay on campus, which is kind of the norm for most schools because like kids are coming from that high school setting in the US, mom and dad take you to school or you take the bus. So now, and it also helps students build relationships with their fellow first years. Yeah. So we stayed on campus, and you'll most probably have a roommate. It's traditional housing. You'll most probably have a roommate, and then it's like room, then bathroom, then other rooms. So 2 rooms share 1 bathroom.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So that's like a suite style. That's what it's called. But like really, when you say sweet, I'm not meaning it.
So I can imagine some fancy stuff going on, right?
If you have like US roommates, some roommates really be pimping their room. Someone will come with like a pink shower curtain, golden toothbrush holder.
Yes.
Yeah, levels.
But yeah, that's, and you don't pay bills if it's on campus housing. Everything is on this. Once you pay for housing, you pay for that whole semester. So water, electricity, Wi-Fi. On campus. Does it Mac have Wi-Fi? Mac Air.
That's in Mac Air, right?
That's in Mac Air.
We
do have Wi-Fi, but it's like in the campus. So I'm a non-resident, so if you're in hall, that's when you can enjoy the.
It does make sense, like why you shouldn't actually.
Yeah, I think it's the same as it's the same at my school. Actually, yeah, and then also you have cable, like the TV thing. So they'll just be, you just plug it in and then you watch it. Then there'll be like, so at Georgia Tech they just got HBO. That time when the Game of Thrones craze was serious.
Yes.
So student government pushed for people to get HBO, and all.
Very nice.
Guys. And
a movie.
Right? Student government, like you all have presidents.
No, these guys like really pushed for HBO because man, people were so, we have to watch the Game of Thrones finale, blah blah blah. So I mean, me, I wasn't watching Game of Thrones at the time. So if you stay on campus, you get free HBO. But then if you stay off campus, you don't get HBO. You have to pay. But yeah, it's like, and then the so at SBU. I think at SBU, the housing, you also had to pay for a meal plan in your first year. I mean, most schools it's the same thing. You have to pay for housing the first year, and you have to pay for a meal plan. So a meal plan basically is just number of swipes you can get in a day. At Georgia Tech, it's 4 meal swipes per day, so you can go to any cafeteria on campus and you get a meal. Swipe, get a meal.
Oh well, for me, actually, it's worth mentioning. Because my university is one of those that has 2 campuses kind of thing. So the first year when I was doing that, the pre-med and year 1, I spent on the main campus. Really huge place. It's like its own town. You can stay in there without moving out at all, kind of thing.
Yeah, everything is
so while I was there, there was international student apartments. That's where you had to set up. Now it wasn't mandatory for first years to have to like stay on campus, but because you have come, it's a foreign place, language, and then if you're staying off campus, there's other requirements. You have to get like letters from the police, whatnot, to get your residence cleared. Actually, before you can actually pay tuition, so it's all havoc. So unless you know someone who's there before, who can work it out for you, so that when you come, you're just flowing. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone. So we had to do that. So my apartment was called by Chinga. It was what you could in there. You could decide whether you wanted like a share room or you have your own room. Well, cause I have issues sharing rooms with people, I just decided to do my own thing. So yes, you get your own room, but it's really that a room. It's just in that school. It was just the bedroom area and then your shower and study area kind of thing. But it was pretty nice. It was like the Wi-Fi didn't come with the accommodation you pay. You pay accommodation separate from tuition, but water bills were also, water was free, cold water was free. Then when the hot water is actually what you pay for, so you get a card which you bill on. You bill on money. Then when you're gonna use it, you put on the meter and hot water turns up.
I can't believe you hot water. Like, what?
Yeah, but that was like for that accommodation I was in. So come year 2, I had to move from there to the medical campus now, where we do the whole medical thing. Now there it's different. The room's also different. Again, I opted for a single. There I get a kitchen, my own bathroom.
Within the single?
Yeah, it has a kitchen,
it's
bathroom.
like, okay, so like single, just like this apartment, but
yes.
just,
okay.
So
it's,
I'll touch on
so it's that so that kind of setup, but it's all on campus. So and with that you also are now to you pay for your Wi-Fi, you pay for the water. Now in this one you don't pay for the hot water, you pay for water as a whole. But the good thing about it is that it's honestly very cheap. I think I pay like an equivalent of 25k UGX, and I use that water for a whole semester.
A semester?
Yeah, I'll use it.
Serious?
Yeah, it's like
okay,
25k.
that's okay.
Yeah, so
that's like 4 months.
Yeah, when I came, once I was there, I was sharing hot water without looking at my wallet anymore.
No, but for the thing I mentioned about the sweet style, that's normal. That was at my first school. So at some other public schools, when I say public, I mean schools that the US government funds. So like at Georgia Tech, their traditional housing, it's you share a room, but so yeah, the first housing I was in at Georgia Tech, you share a room with someone and then you share a bathroom with another room. But then there are also those where it's like boarding style. You share a room and there are communal bathrooms.
Oh,
no!
Okay, so when I went to Georgia Tech, my mom was like, Nanda, we're not doing the communal bathroom. And I was like, okay, like me, I was just going with whoever's saying.
That's ratchet, man. Communal bathrooms, no.
At campus, man, that's
no, you can't go back.
And then there's also, so right now where I had been living, it's apartment style. Where there are 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So it's like in the middle is the kitchen area and the sitting room, and then one side has 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, and then the other side has 2 bedrooms and a bathroom.
How was the living situation like with other people?
Actually,
do you get to choose the people you share accommodation with, or you kind of use a space and
you can choose the people, but like since when I went to Georgia Tech, I wasn't the first year. Most times people will get to choose, and like people go in second year, so you've already made your group of friends. And But like me, I came as a transfer student. Like they just be hustling housing for you. Like if there's a space here, okay, that's where you're going to go. So and then also when I was there, when I came as a second year, I was living with 4th years. So these guys, you'd never see them. Like, I don't think I ever saw my second roommate. She was an aerospace engineer in India. She had already gotten a job at NASA. But like, she was up there and she would see me and she'd be like, hi. And she'd be like, I'm so sad we didn't get to be friends. But like, I'm always so busy, that type of thing. But she was nice, like as long as everyone respects their personal space, like in the kitchen, don't just be using my stuff and like.
Oh, how do you handle that?
Well, for me, the first time,
is there one fridge or
yeah, there's one fridge.
So how do you know these are my beans, these are my yogurt?
Can I code them?
No. Let me tell you. The first, 2018, how we would know is that one of my roommates, she shops from Trader Joe's, another one shops from Target. So you can, the things are labeled. You get Trader Joe's. If it's Trader Joe's, it's this for this girl. If it's Target, it's you get. And then I had a meal plan, so I never used to cook. I never, like in the fridge, I buy like ice cream, soda. If maybe I've ordered pizza, like I never really had things. That time I still had a meal plan. But then when I started cooking stuff, most people are very respectful of personal space and stuff. So yeah, it's okay, like it's good, it's adjustable. But me, the main thing was just having my own room, because sharing a room with someone, it's kind of, I don't know, like I prefer to have my own space, because you don't know how other people's hygiene and stuff like that.
It's a lot. Not hygiene, man. Sometimes you just need to be alone.
Privacy.
Just chill.
Privacy.
And university comes with a lot mentally, so you kind of need your space.
Yeah, you need your space.
Yeah, and okay, I wanted to ask, the travel, like within China, within the US. I mean, you stayed on campus, so you had to you could walk to your class.
Yeah.
Or it was like that big university. It was at the city of itself.
No, but also my school is that big.
Yeah.
There's a police department. There's
right.
Very
small kind of thing.
Yes,
very big. So at my school they have bus routes. So the school has bus routes. So like there's the blue bus, there's the red bus, there's the green bus. And
that move around within. Those are like school buses.
Yeah, they move within that specific area. So you use the app to know when the next bus is coming.
It's been an app for the friends.
It's called Institute of Technology.
You're supposed to do something.
But yeah, so if you're going to class, like if you have a class at 9, okay, most times when you get into the school, you start noticing a pattern.
Yeah.
If your class starts at 9, then you know that at the latest, the bus that's going in the direction you're going is going to make it stop at 8:55. So the next bus will come in the next 15 minutes. So you have to make sure you catch the 8:55. Okay. Then you go there. And then we also had buses for students on the weekends that go to there was like a shopping complex to go to the supermarkets and the shopping areas there. Otherwise, you just use Uber. People have cars, but parking is expensive. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like a parking pass at my school is $800.
800.
800 crispy US dollars
For parking.
Yes.
Then you fuel your car.
Yes, you fuel your car. You maintain your car, put oil, all that nice stuff. So, like you look at it, like okay, for Atlanta, I feel like maybe it's just better to have to use Uber if you can afford the parking pass. Then yeah. But just use Uber. Some people use Zip cars. You know the Zip cars. The cars that they just park them there. You use an app to activate the car.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, then you just go inside the car. You rent it. You can rent it for I think $10 a day, or you pay like $5 per 30 minutes. Then you just park it at another Zip car location. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
And you?
Same thing. We also have buses that used to move through the school.
Uganda University need buses.
I know. Oh my God, that time I went to MOOC.
There are no judges even. I'm
yes.
like, you have to drive.
In the university, you walk.
You have to drive. So
if the rain finds you halfway, you just
that. But you know how it's hot 80% of the time in this country. You can't.
We are used.
So for us, it's same thing. Buses on campus, it's always buses. They also have same routes. For us, like they're not the same color, but you find it's written on like where it's going. If it's going East Campus, West Campus, so, and it has like stops. It will make definitely to pass by shopping area, to pass by international students apartment, then maybe finish by the Chinese dormitories, something like that.
Yeah.
Then outside school, we don't have Uber. It's not called Uber, but it's technically Uber. It's called Didi. They competed and they outcompeted Uber, so Uber sold their business to them, kind of thing. Yeah. So we use that if you really feel like you wanna splurge money. But the good thing about China is its public transport is honestly superb. it's the one thing
Yeah.
I miss.
Yeah, that's
So,
one thing about like people in the US also complain. Public transport in the US,
Yeah.
man, it's not
because our public transport is really nice. You have buses that move throughout the city wherever you're going. There's the subway lines. My city has like we have 15 subway lines.
Yeah.
So you just take the sub, and because my university is a big one, actually by all major universities you'll find there's a subway station by your university. So it's just go underground, and within 40 minutes you'll be wherever you're going across the city. So personally, I mostly use the subway because there's no traffic hassle. It's convenient and neat. Then the public transport, then the bus. Then you only use Didi or Uber when it's past 11, because usually past 11 p.m. Buses now switch, they're called night buses. They switch to like 1 hour routes, or they come every after an hour to a certain station, and some routes to totally close off kind of thing. But yeah.
So do people have cars on campus?
The international student community, you don't really need a car. You honestly don't. It's more work. Same thing, parking fees are outrageous. So if you do have a car, it's only unless you're driving past 11. That's the only time you have an advantage over me who don't have a car. But aside from that, really, so aside from that, it's not really useful. So I only know actually what we mostly use for like those mini distances. We have like electric bikes, so that's what we usually buy. And so they're cheap. So you buy yourself an e-bike, you can literally go anywhere in the city. So I think that's actually the other major transport that you use. You want to go to Walmart, you want to go to Carrefour, whatnot. Just get your e-bike and you're off.
Okay, so we're going to do, before we finish the video, what each of us takes, I think 1 minute or 2 minutes to describe a day in our lives. Like a typical day, a typical uni day.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. You go first.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll say this. Monday, Wednesday, Friday usually have the same day out. Tuesday, Thursday have the same day.
So choose one day and take us to wake up, but real fast.
Okay. So Monday, wake up. If class is at 9 a.m., I'm probably going to wake up at 8. So I'll wake up 1 hour before my first class starts. And then our class is at 50 minutes. So go to class, 50 minutes, it's done. Then I go to the next class. There's usually a 15-minute break they give us to make it to your next class. So like that. Then I'll have lunch. I usually don't like to have lunch too early because I'm very, I have a tiny stomach. If I eat too much, I'm going to get full and then I'll sleep. And then the whole day will be wasted. So I really try to do as much work as possible before I eat lunch.
Can I pause you right?
Yes.
The potatoes on Monday at Namgonga.
No, there was the chicken on Thursday.
That's the chicken, mine.
Wednesday, Thursday, you're gone.
You're good.
You're gone. Lunchtime is just for vibes.
And I think that thing has stayed with me until now. Like after lunch, my brain just shuts down. But anyways, so let me say it's like a club meeting, the African Student Association. I'll go for a meeting. They're usually at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. And then I'm also in the Georgia Tech Society of Black Engineers. Those meetings happen every Thursday. But so let's say it was a Tuesday first. The meeting happens between 11 to midday, and we'll talk about stuff. Sometimes maybe a company will come and talk about what they do, trying to attract people to go to them after they graduate, that type of thing, or just meet other people, meet people who are ahead of you, people who are like in 4th year, to give you advice on like how to go forward with your classes, how to prepare for exams, things like that. And then if it's a day when I'm working, I usually like to work between 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. because that's a perfect shift. People are in class and it's not too busy. And then also you don't have to stay for closing, because if you work in retail in the US, you already know the deal. Closing time. After you close, you have to go back and clean up all that. So if you go to a supermarket, please be aware of the people who work there. You guys just be leaving things everywhere. So yeah, you go pick things up, arrange the supermarket nice and close it down. Then I'll start to wind down, like let me say eating like at 8 p.m. Take a shower, maybe watch Netflix, and then sleep. The day is done.
A typical day. So my days usually begin at 6 a.m. So I try to be. Why are you laughing, guys? you used to talk about 4.
Jesus.
No, it's 6 because usually I try to get like reading done.
Okay.
So like because I know myself, the first hour of the day I'll be catching up, go through feeds, news feeds and things like that. Then honestly get out of bed at 7. So if I'm out of bed at 7, then that's when I start preparing. I'm not an early breakfast person, so our classes are usually from 8. They start at 8, so it's a full day of classes for us. So if it's 8, that means I'm gonna be in class from 8 till about 10. That's like one lecture and it's done. Then when it's done, they give us like 30 minutes to go on a break. I think 20-30 minutes. So yeah, that's when you run out, get some McDonald's or something, and get back to class. And then after that, it's another lecture till Chinese have their lunch at midday. I found that really odd.
That's too early.
Yeah, but midday is their lunchtime at all time. Yeah. So by midday is when you go get your lunch. I usually have my lunch around midday, 12:15. Then by 1:30-ish, 1:32, you're back in class again for evening lectures. Then depending on if I also have a night lecture, those are there. So you can be a night lecture till like 10. So if I don't have one of those, I wrap up class about 5:30 or 6. Then I usually go for sports or gym if I pay for membership anyways. Yeah, sports gym. Then after that, the rest of then I spend some time studying. Then I usually sleep around midnight or 1 a.m. So I just try to keep 6 hours sleep. So if I sleep at 1, I wake up at 7. If I slept at midnight, I wake up at 6, kind of thing. So that's a typical boring day. A medical student's boring day. There's a lot of reading, read. Yeah, like all that chunky. Yeah, no, she reads.
Reads as well.
we hope.
Well, me, I've literally worked throughout the whole of my uni, except for first year, I think. But from like second year, I was working like daytime. So first year I did day classes. Then second year I went back to evening program. So a typical day in my life is I wake up. I wake by usually 5:30.
Wow.
5:30. 5:36 latest. If I wake up at 6, then I'm rushing. You know the traffic in Kampala is crazy. It's really crazy. It's insane. So yeah, I wake up 5:30, latest 6 after snoozing like every 5-minute alarm. 5:30, 5:35, 5:45.
I know that feeling.
Anyway,
I have alarms from like 5:32.
Yes. So get a surfboarder or a taxi or whatever way I'm going to work. Head to town. Work throughout the day. My evening classes usually start from 4 p.m. So around 3:30, whatever job I was at, they needed to know that I would tell them I will do all the work I have to do, but I have to be going to class at 3:30. Yeah, so 3:30.
Like in deep town.
Yes.
All
the way back to
so it's a judge, right?
Self-border should even make me an ambassador.
I know.
I just borders. Like I just put credit of like 50,000. I'm like, I'm just going to keep ordering and going. So 3:30, I'm on the run to school, checking is the lecturer in, is the test yet on, Yeah, then I go to school. 4 to the latest we've been in class is still 9 p.m. Yeah, now evening students, you have to study over the weekend. Usually, your Saturday is taken with class. We told you to study in the evening. So yeah, go to class around 8, leave campus, leave uni. When I was in hostel, we used to have a shuttle that would go to my hostel. Right now, of course, it's safe border back here. Yeah, and then I don't even have energy to eat throughout the day, by the way. Like I eat when I'm hungry, and that's bad, hence putting on all this bad weight, because I don't eat the whole day, then I eat a yoga roll because it's what I can grab. But yeah, that's a typical day. And also, I needed to ask, food-wise, what food do you eat? Especially you in China. What do you even eat?
Yes, we eat
rice. What do you eat?
Okay, so I won't lie, the one thing I miss about Uganda is food. Like when I came back here, I'm like, where do we start from? Actually, whenever I get back here,
what are you craving?
Whenever I get back here, the two things that must be in the car that picks me is gonja and pork.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
good
Yeah,
combination.
yeah.
They have
That's a nice one.
then after that, we
Yeah.
can start looking for Javas and all those other people. But yes, I won't lie. I personally find the Chinese food to be very limited. So I struggled with it for a bit. I think the whole first month and a half that I was there, I was just McDonald's greatest friend. The tellers actually knew me. They didn't. You come at supper, lunch. They don't. They know at lunch you're going to ask for a German burger and something. Supper you're going to come and ask for McChicken. Always constant. So I got tired of that, and also the money began looking a bit funny. So I'm like, okay, we can't keep this up forever.
Yeah.
So I began trying out Chinese food. Like, you go to the canteen, let me say today I'm going to try out some, I don't know their names, something like hot pot. So you go, you try hot pot, make some reach hit home, others don't, hit and miss. I can't forget telling you about the first day, because I arrived, my flight landed in the night, so I got to my uni about 8 p.m. And when I reached at 8 p.m., all offices were closed.
Wow.
There's no one waiting for at 8 p.m. So I was just lucky I had a Ugandan friend there who I was like, you can crash at my place. So later that day, man, I slept like a refugee because I reached and there was no help, nothing. So I went out to try and look for food, and I saw noodles. So I saw noodles and I'm like, man, it seems it's the only thing I can try. So I ordered for. No problem that I didn't know Chinese, so what you see on the picture up is what you point. So I was just pointing, I'm like, that thing up there, it looks edible.
I was about to say, you know how like in furniture, there's some ones that are like layered, there's some like noodles. You can't even say that in China, like
No, like everything has a cursor.
I know.
Yeah, so I was
difficult.
just pointing, I'm like, yeah, I think that thing. So I was really hungry. I hadn't eaten the whole time, and I used a train to get there. So I buy these noodles. So I head back to this guy's place. God, the things I ordered for, let me just tell you, I threw everything I bought in the bin, and just went downstairs and bought Oreos. So that day I slept on Oreos. I've never been that hungry in my life. Because that time I didn't even know where to find McDonald's or anything like that. So yes, the food in China though, generally, even because now I'm in my fourth year, the meat and some vegetables. So just be open-minded, try anything. Yeah, I'm a very picky person when it comes to food. But for other people, I have friends who don't mind many Chinese delicacies, octopus, frogs, whatever they want.
Frogs.
Yeah, frogs. Because at the market you find frogs jumping all over the place, and guys buy them. Someone comes and orders tortoises, turtles, all kinds of things.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yes, whoever, if you try out things and if you like it, well and good.
Okay, and you?
In the US, basically, it's like just a melting pot of everything. You can find everything there: Mexican food, Chinese food, all kinds of food. So at school, yeah, we have a very diverse option. We have many diverse options you can pick from. Like it's the same thing as here: breakfast, eggs, there's cereal, there's cereal dispensers, bacon, yogurt, the same things you would eat here in a Ugandan breakfast.
There's no bacon in Uganda University.
Right.
It's no, I'm saying like a home
Like a roll,
breakfast.
right?
Yeah, like a home breakfast.
Okay.
Then yeah, you'll have different. Of course, there's going to be things you've never seen before. But yeah, there are many restaurants that are like college student friendly. The prices are good. There's junk food, and if you want to eat junk food, you can go to McDonald's, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A has very good fries. Like those fries, are very good. But yeah, it's like if you badly want matoke, you can find it there. Yeah, it's normally Mexicans also stock such stuff. Then there are usually Ugandans who are there who would take food. I don't have to be doing that business. You take Ugandan food from Uganda, then you sell it there. It's also there. So it's not as difficult as like maybe this situation, but you find something to do.
Me, on the other hand, I'm in the hub of all the food. Yeah, you must envy me.
I envy you, not almost. I
yeah, really, like street food is there. Like you can basically survive in Uganda. Even majority of Uganda is below $1. Like they survive below $1. And that's because of the food. Like the food is so cheap, it's everywhere. I mean, if you get your cassava of 500 and avocado of 500, you black out after it. Yeah, but there was food everywhere. And for me in Chambogo, Banda, I used to eat food there. Of course, it was more affordable. It's not hectic because year one was studying 8 to 4, 8 to 4. I had headaches throughout. So I had to buy food. I couldn't cook on every day. But then at the same time, I fell sick. Like bacterial infections all the time. I have a very sensitive stomach. So for me, since the food is cheap either way in the markets, I decided I'm going to be cooking for myself, except for bad days. Yeah, so that's it for the food. And the last question, have you traveled in the cities you're staying in? Have you traveled out of the city? Any activities with your friends?
I have. I've been to, so within Georgia, maybe I can say I've been to Lake Lanier, but this was before I found out that that lake is haunted. So what? I found this out recently on Twitter, and then people were like, that lake used to be there was a town, like it used to be a town, and they wanted, it was in a perfect location for some kind of dam, so they flooded the town, and like there's always this number of drownings at that lake, so if you go to Georgia, Lake Lanier, don't. Then I've also been to the capital, Washington, D.C. We went as a group of international students that were offering subsidized travel and accommodation. So we paid like $260 or even less for, it was a 4-day trip to go to Washington, D.C. and like see all the monuments like the White House, the place where Martin Luther King gave that I Have a Dream speech. We went to all the museums. Like if you go to DC, all the museums are like very close to each other. So we went to the African American Museum, the museum where they keep those inventions. There's a museum where they keep all the like clothes that important people have worn. So Michelle Obama's dress was there. Like it was so nice. Then there's also a Nando's in DC that was so nice. I don't know if you guys are going to Nando's when it was still here. Nando's has bomb food. Then which other place? It was there. Current Food Hub.
Food Hub,
yeah, that's what Nando's. Which other place have I been to? I think that might be all. Maybe that might be all. Not really.
Yes, I've moved a lot, but usually it's not for chill.
Pleasure.
Yeah, it's not for pleasure and chill. When I do travel for pleasure, I go to Shanghai, which is like the financial capital, and it's where you find most international brands and kind of thing. It's less Chinese. If you want to go to a city where you feel like you're surrounded by all different cultures, go to Shanghai. You find French street, then you see the English street. Even the architecture is English, French, all different kind of things. So when I want to enjoy myself, I usually go. Not that Wuhan itself has enough. Everything you want to see, you'll find in Shanghai, you can find in Wuhan. Just that Wuhan is more Chinese than the other side. So Shanghai, it's easy to find someone speaking English on the streets compared to when you're in Wuhan. So I've traveled to the north of the country to a city called Shenyang. It's very cold and chilly up there. But it's a very nice place. It's a big city. They don't have like a lot of culture that most Africans are conversant with. Yes, I've been to a city called Hefei. I've been to various provinces actually. I think every year I travel to a city around. Yeah, so
that's good.
Yeah, I've been to Mbarara, Shaka, Jinja.
You went to Kenya. Didn't you go to Kenya?
I go to Nairobi quite a lot. I've been to South Africa, but that's not within Uganda.
Yeah.
Finland, yeah, to Dubai. Yeah, so
it's acting like
right? Yeah, she's always moving all over the place. You actually travel more than us.
I was asking in the place where you studied, and I'm studying in Uganda, but I've been around Uganda, Uganda, Soroti, Gulu.
Uganda,
yeah,
Kenya,
so Kenya. So yeah, I think that was it for today's video. So till the next one, which is our last video where we tackle friendships and family and separating from your whole world.
Well, see you there.
See you.